Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm here to discuss the beginning of the 2023 Grand Prix of figure skating season. Today, the US Grand Prix is about to get underway and the pairs and men are going to start their short programs today. So if you're here, that means you must like figure skating, and we're going to talk about the short programs for the pairs and the men today. The pairs is pretty wide open because the world champions from Japan have pulled out. They are injured and they will not be skating this weekend. We're not sure if they're going to get back on the Grand Prix. They might not. So we'll just have to wait and see how that ends up. But with that being said, the field is wide open, you guys. Well, maybe not so wide open, but there are two teams that should be fighting it out for that gold medal. Pereira and Machado from Canada and Hack and Kunkel from Germany. Those two teams are so close in best scores and season scores so far from the preseason Challenger Series that who knows what's going to happen. I do think Pereira and Machado probably have a little bit of an edge, but Hack and Kunkel, they have been on the rise for the last two seasons, and I really do think they have a good shot. Again, it's just going to come down to who ends up nailing it. Just figure skating, you know, the ice is slippery, the blades are thin, so anything could happen, especially when you have teams that are rising and kind of working stuff out still. Speaking and rising and working stuff out still, you have three other teams that are in contention for probably the bronze medal, depending on how it all shakes out. Is likely going to be one of the two American teams, Lou or Nagy and Plazas and Fernandez. You know, both teams have their positives and their negatives, but it's just going to depend on who hits everything. Also, though, Caldera and Maglio from Italy, who knows? You never know. They could squeak up, get that bronze medal. I do see them probably finishing in fifth, maybe. It's going to be tough. But after the short program, I do think that is Pereira and Machado's strong point. I have a feeling they're going to have a lead. I don't know if it's going to be a big lead, but they are probably going to have a lead after the short program. This is going to be one of those cases where the long program is going to mean everything. Pairs, not a lot to talk about because there's only a few teams that are really in contention. The men's skate today with the short program. I don't know if Ilya is planning on doing the quad axel. That's going to make a huge difference. If he does that quad axel and he hits over 100 points, there's no chance that he's not in first place after today. I do think Shun Sato has a really good shot of being in the top three after the short program. The Japanese skaters, all of them just come out so strong. Who knows? I mean, this whole field, the 12 of them, it's really going to come down to who skates how well. Because Nika Agadze, Kevin Amos, possibly Litstinev from Uzbekistan or Azerbaijan, I forget. But he also could rank somewhere up in that top five. Saboy from Japan, Andrew Torgashev, Steven Gogolev, Andres Norbeck, Denis Vasilyev, even Alexei Naumov. You never know. And Yoshida from Japan. Any one of those guys could skate really clean and come up with a 90-point short program, 85 to 90 points, and be in that top six. I do think that it's going to really be down to the four, though. Ilya Malinin, Shun Sato, Nika Agadze, and Kevin Amos for the top three spots. How that ends up shaping out, personally for me, I do think Ilya Malinin is going to come through. He seems to be consistent, even if he misses one jump with all of his quads, 2 in the short program, 4 or 5 in the long program. We're looking at 7 quads. Even if he only does 6, that puts him pretty far ahead. Shun Sato probably has 3 or 4 in his long and 2 planned, so there is a shot that Shun Sato could win first place. I mean, he did really good last year on the Grand Prix, skating early in the season. Nika Agadze has had such a good preseason, and you know, you get that a Terry boost. I'm sure she'll be with him because this is in America. She's got all those shots for those cameras. And I think she sees him as a medal shot. So I think she's going to be there. Well, I know she's going to be there looking at those cameras, trying to look like a good coach. You know, giving a little of that a Terry bonus for Gadze. That could just be enough to put him above Amos. I actually think it will be. Kevin Amos early season just does not bring it like we want him to. You know, he's a slow burn. It takes him a while to get to that point in the season. And I really just think that this is going to be a battle for him to make the podium. Andrew Torgashev, I'm really hoping comes out, puts up like 88 points in the short, puts up like 150 in the long, puts up 245 points, and shows that he is a really solid third place in America. I know we have Jason Brown, who will most likely come to nationals and do what Jason Brown does, and make one of those world team spots. But I really think, I mean, unless Alexa Nemov comes out and, you know, lights out, I mean, it's the odds of him putting together the two programs, though, seems really tough. But Torgashev has looked decent in the preseason so far, so maybe Naumov can come in and do something really good. Same with Denis Vasilyev, you guys. Like, poor guy. Like, a couple of years ago, he was really being looked at as, like, top tier, you know, and the last few seasons have just not been where it's at. He has not been getting the quads. His other jumps have been suffering because of it. Which kind of makes his artistry suffer. It just, on a plus side, his new haircut looks great, so I do love the haircut on him, but figure skating is more than just a haircut and a costume, so he's going to need to go out there and hit some jumps and actually do something if he wants to go. Same with Andres Norbeck and Steven Gogolev, both of which could come out and do something really good, but you know, Gogolev had a really good performance early in the season, like 240 something points. So if he could come out and do that, probably get like a top 6 finish, which would be really good for him to be out of that lower echelon and into that upper, you know, top 20 kind of thing versus like barely scraping it in. Yeah, this Grand Prix is going to have a lot of interesting stuff. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the women and the dance portion. Let's hope for a really good Grand Prix season, guys.